same moment, there was a wailing heard coming from the graveyard elm, and everyone turned to look, and there was the ghost of Old Book by the tree, standing, leaning up against the tree, just howling and sobbing and carrying on. And, everyone just lost it. And Dr. Zeller himself was at the funeral, and he went over the coffin. He said, I want this coffin open right now. So they took crowbars, and they levered up the coffin lid, and as soon as the lid was open, the wailing from the tree stopped, and Old Book was in his coffin, absolutely dead.
Wow. Why do you think that people like Old Book actually want those in attendance to know that there's something beyond? Do you think that was his main goal, was to say, hey, listen, my body may be dead, but I'm still alive?
I think that was absolutely his intent in coming back. I think that's why the ghosts at the Pollock Hospital and at the Bowen Building, I think that's why the ghosts remain there, so that they can communicate with us and tell us that there's something more.
Why are so many people interested in ghosts these days? Like ghost hunting, let's say 10, 12 years ago, was it was kind of a hobby. People would go to the historic sites, and there were a couple of ghost tours, a lot of them in Gettysburg, of course, and in other areas where there had been battles. But now ghost tours are popping up all over the place, and it seems that everyone wants to become a ghost hunter. Why?
Absolutely. It's not just for battlegrounds anymore. I think it's just an awakening in our society today, saying that, life nowadays is really technological and really great for some people, but for other people, it kind of blows.
Yeah.
And I just think that people want to reassure themselves that there is something afterwards, that this life isn't necessarily all there is. There is something more, and we do survive after that.
What are some of the qualifications a person should have if they want to become a ghost hunter?
An open mind, first and foremost. You need to be a skeptic, but you also need to be able to look at the evidence and say, all right, we may have something here. It helps to be aware of your surroundings. I was at the Pollock Hospital again about 2 months ago. I was just sitting in the women's ward reading a book, and I became aware of someone standing in the doorway next to me. All I heard was someone go, but I heard it distinctly, and I wouldn't have heard it if I wasn't paying attention.
Do you think that ghosts or spirits actually know that you are a very sensitive person and that you can actually see them?
Oh,
I'll take that for a yes.
That girl in the basement of the Pollock, I think that was a one-off, because that's the only spirit I've ever actually seen. I sometimes wish I could see more, but then again I say, oh my goodness, Sylvia, be careful what you wish for.
So how come you saw that one ghost?
I really don't know. I think there were so many people running around the building that day, most of whom I didn't know, and I thought I was so excited to be there, and I just think that the time was appropriate for me to look at somebody that I didn't know and think they were human and have them turn out to be not human.
Talk about scary.
It really wasn't, actually.
It wasn't. All right.
It took me back a couple of steps, but it wasn't frightening at all.
All right, so let me ask you this. If you've only seen one ghost, why do you keep going back and looking for more?
Oh, in case there are more. I tend to hear things. I've been to the Pollock Hospital at the asylum so many times that
Why?
I'm thinking, it's just a fascinating place. If you know the history of the place, if you know this legacy of caring that the Dr. Zeller and the nurses, the attendants, they all cared so deeply for their patients. And it's such a place of love and acceptance. That spirit is still there.
But if So many people go there. Wouldn't it make more sense to go to another place and look for other ghosts? Maybe there's something at the asylum that is stopping you or blocking you from seeing other apparitions.
That is a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel that it may be a case of familiarity breeding
contempt.
Well, not contempt, but it may be a case of me getting too familiar with the place.
Mm-hmm.
But it has a hold on people. It really does. If you go there a couple of times, you just keep getting drawn back to it.
Could it be it's because a place where other people who share your fondness for seeking out the paranormal congregate, that this is like, if you'll excuse the expression, a church for all you ghost hunters to go to try and prove you're right and that society is wrong?
Absolutely. I don't think it's proving society wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I just enjoy going there and hanging out, really, with the spirits. The volunteers,
right,
too, at the building are just a wonderful bunch of people, and I just enjoy hanging out with them as friends.
It sounds a little more like it sounds like a social gathering.
Almost. The Pollock tours are very involved. They talk a lot about the history of the asylum, too. And there are costumed interpreters that outline pieces of the hospital's history. And people just really eat that up when they come for tours. And it's such an immersive experience for ghost hunters and for people that just come for the history tours. It's really a fabulous place.
Something that has always amazed me is that those who seek spirits in the paranormal call themselves ghost hunters. And yet, when somebody hunts something, it's for a kill.
I know, that term really bothers me. I would much rather be known as a paranormal investigator. Ghost hunters just sound so crude. But it's a shorthand, it really is, for what we do. Paranormal investigator just takes so long to say.
All right, Stan.
But yes, the term ghost hunter kind of grates on my nerves a bit.
I think you guys should be called ghost seekers.
Ghost seekers, that's a good one.
All right, stand by, dear. You and I have to take our news break at the bottom of the hour. Exonation, Sylvia Shults is our guest. www.sylviashults.com. That's SylviaShults.com. And we'll be back on the other side of this hour. Continuing, on the other side of this news break, I should say, continuing talking about her book, Fractured Spirits, Hauntings at the Peoria State Hospital. My name is Rob McConnell. This is The X-Zone, and we'll be back on the other side of this news break and some fine words from our sponsors. Don't go away. Are you considering calling a psychic to read your situation? Then consider David Champion, a psychic medium for more than 20 years with thousands of readings under his belt. David Champion will make you feel comfortable. He has proven to be honest and accurate. He's a straight shooter. There's no guesswork. What he sees is what you get. While he is a medium, most of the calls focus on relationships, not only love, but work, school, neighbors, and more. Need help with finding a job and preparing for the interview? Are you dealing with people who are obstacles in your path? For more information, go to davidchampion.com, $1.50 per minute paid by credit card with a minimum of 30 minutes. For your reading with David Champion, call 1-877-702-8598. That's 1-877-702-8598. Now you can dial in to listen to the X-Zone radio show from anywhere in the world with Rob McConnell 24/7, 365 by dialing 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080. If you have a mobile phone or landline, the X-Zone radio show with Rob McConnell is now at your beck and call at 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080, 24/7, 365. Now you can dial in to listen to the X-Zone radio show from anywhere in the world with Rob McConnell 24/7, 365 by dialing 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080. If you have a mobile phone or landline, the X-Zone radio show with Rob McConnell is now at your beck and call at 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080, 24/7, 365.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
X-Zone Nation, before we get back to our guest this hour, Sylvia Shults, I'd just like to remind everyone that everyone here at the X-Zone and Relmar McConnell Media Company are trying our very best to help Sylvia Anthony, who is, God bless her, 84 years young. She's trying to raise enough money to open a second Sylvia's Haven. Now, Sylvia's Haven is a home that takes in ladies and their families because of the financial problems. They've lost their home, they've become homeless, or because they are victims of domestic abuse. Over the past 27 years, she has helped over 1,087 families. That's right, 1,087 families, and she is not funded. Sylvia's Haven is not funded by any government or organized relief system whatsoever. She is the sole provider by raising money throughout the community for Sylvia's Haven. Her wish is to have a Sylvia's Haven in each and every state in the United States. What we're trying to do is help her raise $300,000 so we can open up another Sylvia's Haven and get the ball rolling. It's very rare in today's society that you find someone who's giving so much and asking so little, especially since the money is not for her. The money is to build another Sylvia's Haven. If you're interested, go to www.sylviashaven.org. Read the story. Find out what this story is all about. You will be surprised. She has received letters of commendation from presidents, from the United Nations. And the ironic part is, nobody's funding her from any government organization or state, municipal, city, federal level whatsoever. Read it. Go to www.sylviasdream.org and make a donation, even if it's $5, even if it's $2. Every cent counts. That's www.sylviasdream.org. I want to thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for helping. Sylvia Shults is our guest this hour, www.sylviashults.com, and we're talking to Sylvia about her fascinating book entitled Fractured Spirits, Haunting at the Peoria State Hospital. Now tell me, when you go on your ghost-seeking jaunts, what kind of equipment do you take?
Well, I really like taking along a small digital voice recorder.
Mm-hmm.
You can catch so many wonderful ghost voices if you're lucky. There is a really fascinating piece of equipment called a ghost box or a spirit box that it's all it is an AM radio set up to scan through the dial continuously to put out a bunch of white noise and static. And the idea is that the spirits use that white noise to form words to answer questions that you put to them. And the first time I heard about this, I said, oh, no, I'm not buying that. And then I got to actually use one and hear one in action, and having a conversation with someone